Hello, I have a question and an apology. Firstly, what would you do if you were hanging out one morning watching TV at the corner diner that you love, and then the news comes on? You'd leave, right? No. Okay, real question. The City Museum has been robbed of its newest attraction, and they show video footage of you and your friends almost obviously committing the crime. Then you hear sirens. I have a confession. I orchestrated this whole thing, and you might probably have to figure it out before you're put in the slammer forever. If you don't know City of Mist, it's a role-playing system and setting where you're an average Joe in a Gotham-style city that's been pumped with godlike magic, mist, that allows people to awaken superpowers. And for their new Kickstarter that's ending in less than 2 days, I get to cram this criminal case into their list of adventures. So I'm going to do a little breakdown of how my case goes, which starts with a museum heist that happened yesterday. You play as a crew of criminal investigator vigilante moonlighters whose presence is scaring a very well-hidden mastermind. The kickoff of the adventure gives the crew just a few minutes to figure out a plan before the dang old cops show up and arrest them. To give you full player freedom, since your crew likely works with the cops, you can just straight up get arrested and go right to court. Let's explore that path first, before your crew goes full-on Spider-Man No Way Home. So you get cuffed, booked, and enjoy some downtime in prison while the court date is set. If you're the kind of team to trust the justice system, you'll be quite surprised by our first mini-villain, Nolan Salona, a prosecution lawyer who has never picked a case that he's lost. The odds are painfully stacked against you in a way that obviously doesn't add up, but before you know it, welcome to the big house. That's it, that's my adventure. Okay, now go ahead and break out of jail, cause there is some stanky bullshit and you need answers. Meet my first 2 allies and your first superpowered friend. Will Jackson, who has the power of Chirbati, the mythical ghost lights, and his cellmate, King Thick. Will's powers awakening led to accidental kidnappings consistently at 8 p.m., with the lights leading people to their death. But now, the pair wants to escape, and they need your help. The entire prison quickly descends into this riot-filled, ghost light-guided chaos that actually lets the party escape the prison pretty easily if they follow the lights. At some point while in prison, the party will learn from King Thick about an idiot who's dumb enough to try and steal from what is basically the museum from this movie. Now let's look at Route 2. You ran from the law and got time to actually work out a plan. Maybe. You could either return to the scene of the crime, eventually finding video footage of the same dumb thief and some foreshadowing. If your crew doesn't piddle around the museum, or if they get stuck in the story, you meet another band of awesome superheroes. The High Riders, a biker gang of hitmen who can ride on wisps of mist in the sky, and they have orders to collect you. Beat 'em or lose to 'em, they'll direct you to my favorite little guy who put the hit on you, an old drunk in a dinky shack with the powers of MIMIR. Basically, he's really smart and knows random stuff that he shouldn't. Turns out, the item you allegedly stole is none other than Pandora's box itself. That's a big oopsie. Naturally, you gotta find out who has it and who sold it. So now we're back to that idiot I mentioned before. Bing bang boom, welcome to the fence post. Richie, the idiot fence, swears on his life that the party themselves acted as representatives for the acquisition order, causing some very confusing dialogue. You'll be able to squeak out of him generally one of 2 things depending on the route that you took. In the first one, he will let you know that he met the party in the warehouse district on the corner of blah and schma. On Mimir's route, you'll learn that it was purchased by a wealthy banker as a present for his wife. Now we're at the branching endings. Do you race to stop an apocalyptic event in a gated community? Or go clear your names and figure out what kicked all of this off? Now doesn't that sound fun? I must apologize again, but I have trapped you and become the Scooby-Doo villain myself. Cause that's what the Kickstarter's for, and I want you to play it. Here's some fun clues though. There's clay residue in the museum, and the reason that the actual thief was never caught is due to their assistant, Eva. Her mythos gives her the same powers as my favorite Marvel hero, Forget-Me-Not, which would be the power of observation amnesia. The way it's described when you first encounter her, your party is just instantly transported 3 blocks from where they were, one of you having a bloody nose and a new trail of blood that you might want to follow. It's a dang good time, so thanks for watching and check it out if you can. I'm probably gonna do a battle tactics video next.